Hello again. This is Bob Weir with the Cross Timbers Gazette, and today's guest is Cathy Strathmann, who is running for Place 1 on the Flower Mound Town Council. The Place 1 seat is open as a result of the resignation of Brian Roundtree several months ago, when he cited health issues as the reason for leaving the seat he won in last year's election. Former Councilman Mark Wise was appointed to the seat until voters elect someone in May of this year. The person who is elected to fill the vacated seat will be able to hold it for 1 year, the amount of time left on Mr. Roundtree's original term of office. Then, if he or she decides to run for re-election, it will be for a full 2-year term. Jason Webb, who is also running for the seat, was the subject of a recent video interview. Thank you for being here, Ms. Strathmann.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Now, if you would, as I always ask everyone, to give voters background information such as education, occupation, and such.
Well, as you can tell by my accent, I'm not from Texas. I grew up in Illinois and lived there for 35 years, and I finally decided I couldn't handle the snow and the 80 below wind chill factors anymore, which brought me to Texas. But Illinois is where I graduated from high school, where I immediately started working full-time for a company that I had worked with through high school. And it was really the best decision I ever made. I love my career in administration and management. And for the last 12 years, I've worked with Flower Mound real estate agents, assisting them in their business, behind-the-scenes work, websites, etc., and helping with clients find new homes in Flower Mound. Several years ago, I kind of semi-retired, but I got bored, so I still assist agents in the busy periods to help them out with their workload. I've been a resident for 23 years, and I volunteered for several wonderful organizations, including Seniors in Motion, Children's Miracle Network, United Way, Soldiers Serve with the Heart, the Adopt-A-Spot, and currently I am volunteering for the 4-H organization. I was also a board member of the Mound Foundation, which I loved.
Well, what do you consider the most serious issues facing Flower Mound this year?
Well, I have some personal issues with incentive agreements and fee waivers, but in speaking to residents, I think it's important to bring their issues forward as part of my platform. And right now, of course, the biggest one we're hearing is about development. But I'm not necessarily hearing the overdevelopment. I'm hearing more about the quantity of development. Or it's not the quantity of development, it's the quality of the development and how it fits into the vision for our town. We all expected things like setbacks and building style, trees, green space, all of that to be adhered to. And of course, rezoning to high density has become a hot button lately. And I think we really need to look at the repercussions of changing density. It doesn't just affect the immediate area, it affects traffic, infrastructure. And just recently, our fire chief talked about higher response times, which is really a concern. As a council member, I intend to follow the master plan and smart growth. It's really imperative, I think, for our future. I also found out recently that no one's looking at the developments that are being approved right now, how it'll affect the town 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. And that's a real concern. The other one that I've been hearing a lot is the word favoritism. Because I'm representing the community, I'm not just representing residents, but I'm also representing the businesses that have invested in our town. And so many feel that the rules are not applied fairly. I think it's important that we support the residents and businesses already invested in our town. Small business owners are feeling that there's a slight disadvantage because new businesses coming in are having ordinances waived or rules waived. And although they can go in and apply for the same exemptions, it can be very time consuming. And to be honest, most of them just simply can't afford it. And it creates an unfair advantage kind of when the rules aren't applied equally. Another concern is many feel that when they speak out publicly against any certain development or political party that they'll be retaliated against. I've heard business and residents' livelihoods be threatened, which, you know, for supporting a certain political group or against a development, which is crazy. But my biggest concern is our children. I'm hearing children are not being allowed to join certain groups and organizations because their parents have spoke out. That has to stop. I know it's not any resident's intention to hurt any resident, and especially our children. And I think we can all just step up our game a little and show some more respect to each other.
All right, how about something specific like the progress of the Riverwalk?
You know, I look at the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk Central Business District is awesome. I mean, we've got our hospital, we have Market Street, the hotel's going up. There's a variety of restaurants that everyone loves. I think the real concern residents have is within the Riverwalk PID, the actual PID, where the $16 million bond was voted on, so the developer can make a spectacular Riverwalk for us. And I'm kind of disappointed in the progress of it, and I'm concerned. I mean, it's been years since that has started, and I think residents are just kind of concerned with how their money's being spent to create this beautiful Riverwalk.
How do you feel about Lakeside?
I actually love Lakeside. I've spoken to the residents there, and they love where they live. They love their homes. They have been voicing some concern regarding the restaurant and retail area of the community. I know recently some retail was converted back to residential, and a lot of people moved there because it was kind of like a planned community where they could walk to different things, and the progress on it seems a little slow. So I think it's important for council members to represent the residents and hold developers accountable to their promises.
Do you believe that the master plan is being followed?
You know, I look at the master plan as kind of a promise to residents who invest in our community that they know what the big picture is, and it kind of keeps us safe and secure. And working with the SMART plan and SMART growth, it safeguards our town for the future. When we make changes to the master plan, it's not just a simple change. It affects infrastructure, it affects first responders, and it affects property values. So while amendments can be considered, I think they should only be done when it benefits the town, the residents, the business community, and not profit.
Well, if elected, what talents would you bring to the Flower Mound Council?
Actually, my entire career was based on bringing large groups of people together to reach a common goal. I think it's really important to listen to everyone involved in a conversation and actually hear what they're saying and consider their ideas. I think compromise can always be reached. And when the rules are applied equally and there's a fair playing field, a lot of problems I think can be avoided. I'm a strong person, as most people know, and I'll work hard to communicate with the residents. I don't think it's fair to require residents to spend 40 hours a week reading 500-page packets and attend 3 or 4 different meetings. We need to improve on our communication.
Well, I think we're going to wrap up. So is there anything else you'd like to say about your campaign? Do you have a website or fundraisers you're doing or something like that?
Actually, I really think it's important to know the history of Flower Mound to make informed decisions. And being a 23-year resident, I have been involved in the town as far as growth and how it runs. I am on Facebook, and I do have a website, www.cathystrathmann.com, and you can read more about my campaign there.
Well, Cathy Strathmann, I want to thank you very much for coming here for this interview, and
good
luck
wasn't
in the campaign.
So bad.
And thank you for watching.
Thank you.